This is Linda of Christ is King Forever. I'm going to put a video down below of a guy who's speaking about the end times and about the North Kingdom, the South Kingdom. And his theories I actually lean towards because it reminds me a lot of the typology that God puts in the Bible, where he's basically saying that all these pieces on the stage will be moving the same exact way, because in Isaiah 7 and then in Daniel, I think he does Daniel, somewhere in Daniel he lists, and then also in Revelation. It's basically a reference to the way that all these pieces move on the stage at a time in history is the way they will move in the future. So, you know, I know the preterists say, oh, it's already happened. Well, this is not that. It's saying that the formula that was created, the way everything moved back in the day, is how it will move in the future. Not that it's already passed. So I'm not a preterist. So I'm noticing Israel is extremely divided. It has the Arabs and it has the Jewish folks. There's no go areas for Jewish folks. And also here it says a tight Israel vote means, and this is the AP News, tight Israel vote means Arab Islamists could choose the next PM. So it does seem like, you know, there's Judah, there's the Northern Kingdom. I don't understand the end times. I don't pretend to, but when I heard this video that I'm gonna place down below, because he says it's his opinion, and I've heard the America is Babylon. I've heard all kinds of, and I've never believed those, never. But when you have kind of generic wording like the Northern Kingdom, the Southern Kingdom, little horn, big horn, it's really hard for me to have a lot of faith in people who speak absolutely about words that are so very vague. And so it's no beef. I don't have any problem with people who do that. I get that they have to be confident and they're leading people, and I get it. But it puts up red flags for me, because it's like, relax, go back to sleep, because this has to happen and this has to happen. And what I think it does is it removes watchmen, and it tells people go back to sleep and relax because nothing's happening. That's assuming a lot of things. First of all, that we understand politics in the Middle East enough, because we don't even really understand our own politics. It's a mess. Plus we live in a bubble of information. Even real things that are happening in our world, in our universe as Americans, is falsely reported. And there's false news everywhere. Right? We don't know what the truth is anymore when it comes to us. And it's Trump, Biden, Trump, Biden, Trump, Biden, Trump, Biden, and Trump's not even around, and it's Trump, Biden, Trump, Biden. How would we ever know if these things are happening in the Middle East? Like, whatever the story is, whether it's Northern Israel, Southern Israel, whether it's this rabbi who says he's speaking to the Messiah, who they're probably going to put in the holy place eventually. They're already making sacrifices with these animals. There's YouTube videos on it. Now this is the other thing. This is what it reminded me of when last month on one day there was 19 meteors, and they caused a booming and actually cut out some Christians' networks, you know, their channels, because like I have a few Christians that I'm watching that say after a certain time of night I can't be on the internet because my internet's completely failing. And what it's reminded me of, a lot of things. Would we know if things were serious enough or got intense enough? Would we have internet? So it's kind of assuming we'd have internet, and would there be a reporter reporting on the new king of this north and the new king of the south, or would we have access to this information at that time? I don't know. You know, it does seem like, just like when the beast system comes in and people are saying peace and security or whatever, internet would be back on so everybody could see Jesus return. That makes sense to me. Now, I think he probably could be seen everywhere, but I do think that if it really boils down to it, I'm sure God has foreknowledge that we have internet. I'm sure that kind of plays into the deal with us. And the fact that God says rumors of wars is interesting to me, because if we're sitting in the context of in the future we know we'll have internet. So would we know the secret dealings of people in secret places? Would we be able to be like, oh yeah, this king's definitely rising up when it's all happening secretly? So I don't really know how much access we'd have to. We're definitely not going to have a reporter reporting it, that's for sure. You know, the little horn and the big horn are fighting. You know, nothing like that's going to happen. And we're going to have to go with our own discernment for sure. But when pastors tell people to just relax because these things are not happening, that's assuming a few things. So we understand the Israel politics, Middle East politics. I believe it is that the North Kingdom, South Kingdom is Israel because they're divided. Israel's divided, in my humble opinion. But I would never speak absolutely about that. And I do see these posters with these two men who are favored by half the country, just like we had two men favored by half the country. Same thing with Brazil. Brazil's got the same issue. Half the country love one dude, half the other country love the other guy. So it just seems interesting. It's happening almost everywhere. Same thing with England. So, I don't know. I don't know. I think that's like a synchronicity or something where it's all kind of pointing to the same stuff. But what I'm saying is, I do like that the Old Testament is foreshadowing the way the pieces are going to move in the future. And there is a little horn at the top of Israel. There's all kinds of theories, and I appreciate people when they don't speak absolutely, and when they don't assume because we already live in the bubble of information that where we know if it was really happening, we probably wouldn't pay attention, and we don't understand the politics of the Middle East enough. The Israel politics alone is very confusing to me. But this is Linda of Christ is King Forever. I just wanted to put that video down below for you because I think the theories that he has is very, very, very good, on point, because he opens up the Bible and he clearly says, this is the way the pieces moved in the book of Daniel and the book of Isaiah, and in Revelation it's saying it's a foreshadowing of what's to come. So and I appreciate that, and I do not think we should be going to sleep. I do not think that we should wait for well, is there a building there yet? Is they're already making sacrifices, that they already think they know the Messiah? I don't think going to sleep right now is the option. So I hope all is well with you. I've been praying for the kids at the border and the things that they're going through. May God be with you.